I mean, isn't it amazing?
I really do.
Isn't it amazing that Tainan is a rookie black belt, not even 1 year as a black belt, and yet he's already considered one of the front runners for this division?
It is, and I think it's been really impressive to watch him carry over his dominance from brown to black, as we've talked about before. You know, there's certain electing to point guard here, but then he comes right in the middle. Yeah, it's interesting how some people are able to, you know, kind of copy and paste their results from brown to black belt, and then others take a little bit of a longer time to warm up. But
oh,
wow,
look at this
armbar
attempt there from Robinho. Wow.
Beautiful action here.
The speed at which he jumped over that guard and was attacking that arm. Tainan very calmly defended it and flipped the position, but that's what I'm saying. Robinho, fearless, and
yes,
he is just going to go after whoever's in front of him. And very few people ever even get close to an attack like that on Tainan. But this is the black belt division now. This is different. This is totally different. Whereas Tainan, with head and shoulders above pretty much every other brown belt he ever faced, you know, going up against somebody, the world-class black belts, yeah, it's going to be different, right?
It is, and like you said, you know, Alexandre is a very dangerous player from a lot of positions, and but now I think we are going to see Dalpra settle into, you know, his bread and butter, some super heavy passing here.
Pressure passing stuff.
Well,
yeah.
just like we saw yesterday with Italo Mora, you know, he didn't pass right away. It took a couple of minutes, and he kind of flowed through. Italo has a very talented guard and a beautiful guard retention, and so he kind of flowed and went with the pace of the match and kind of inched closer and closer and closer to passing. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, around the 4-minute mark he passed. And then after that, racked up 29 points.
Yeah, poured it on, yeah.
Yeah, so I think for now, he, you know, is doing a little bit of feeling out the guard, getting comfortable, noticing where the openings are, and then I think we're going to start to see some big pressure here.
Now
there
we see
it is.
The guard passing starting.
Those two
Classic
grips on the
style.
pants are really, really powerful. Because the opponent cannot bring the foot to the hip, they can't put the foot on the de la Riva. There's just until they break that grip, which we're going to see now on the right-hand side. He's going to grab the sleeve, maybe try to kick his right leg out. Oh, and Tainan does release the grip. Trying to hop up here with that.
Oh, nice mat return there.
Down.
And with those grips as well, doesn't just put him down, but puts him down in a position that's actually not a bad place to start passing from. But I see actually though the Alexandre has put in the lasso hook from top, but Tainan does a very good job of just circling his hand out to strip it, but goes back in again. And man, Robinho just can't hold on to that lasso. Tainan is just driving forward. This is the pressure that we're talking about. And there are different kinds of pressure passing, right? Because they're the pressure passing that's very slow, that they kind of grind through the guard, that they put a lot of pressure on their opponent from close quarters. And then there's the pressure passing like Tainan does here. That he actually, it's kind of a lot distance of pressure passing. Yeah,
it's a lot of footwork and a lot of beautiful back and forth, but at the same time, he's always moving forward. And it's pretty unique. I would say we don't see a whole lot of the combination of the two, but the combination of the two is what makes for a beautiful guard
definitely
passer.
AOJ style, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you can combine that speed and pressure passing, it makes for devastating passers, which is what we're seeing right here. He's stretching out his body, sliding into side control.
He scored it. That was not easy.
Here on the pass.
Robinho did a very good job of staying on his side for as long as he could, but Tainan settled down into the side control. Now this is the Tainan show. This is exactly what we expect, and already he's starting to take out
passing that lapel. And again, like yesterday with Italo Mora, you know, I really want to touch on his retention tactics here. Look at that left knee underneath his hip, doing a great job of blocking the hip. So
shuts it down, right?
Many people have their guard or allow the guard recovery because they do not block the hip, but his hips are so heavy. With that knee now sliding into the knee on belly position to either get an advantage or the 2 points here. Looks like he'll most likely get the 2.
There it is.
And then slowly transition to mount, right? It's a game of always moving forward. It's something I get really excited about because it definitely is something that I try to implement in my game. So watching him master this is beautiful. He's pinning the arm.
This control of the near side arm as well. It's the way that he has the shin on the inside of it's actually the forearm, but the leg across that near side arm, and then switches it now to the other leg as he's moving around to the upper body. The lapel around underneath the armpit and around to that super cross face. Could be setting up a Guy Bravo choke, could be using a step over choke, could be going for the arm lock. This is a triple threat position, and this is the kind of thing that, like you described so well yesterday, Kendall, is that you give your opponent a choice, but whatever it is, it's a bad decision, right?
Yeah, and that's the goal. And the idea here in these kinds of positions is how do we continue moving forward chasing the submission as submission hunters without giving up position, right? And it's the balance of holding position while continually moving forward. And I think Dalpra is one of the best examples of that we've seen this weekend, where every single time he moves forward into an attack, he also makes sure he's maintaining that side control position. He's not going back into half guard. He's not getting put back into quarter guard. And a lot of people allow that to happen. They don't feel like it's a big threat. But when his partner will start to, if his opponent starts to recover the guard, he has to now address that instead of attacking the submission. So it's a game, a little bit of a game of cat and mouse. And again, it's just such an excellent job here of control.
Yeah, really so smooth and so dominant with his positional control. But Tainan Dalpra, this is a clinic in how to just utterly control an opponent, somebody who's often fighting for their life to escape. And such is the control. I mean, the Robinho has absolutely nowhere to go. He can't bridge, he can't shrimp, he can't even turn away.
Again, that knee underneath, almost putting himself almost in in a leg drag position. He drives that knee so deep. Very, very interesting. And now he's coming with the underhook on the left-hand side to make that lapel grip just a little bit deeper. Like you said, such a threatening position here. He has a step over choke, Bravo choke options. If he digs underneath that forearm, of course, he can also go into arm triangles. He has Kimuras, near side arm bar, and
now there is a guard recovery by Robinho. So Tainan Dalpra is 5-0 up,
and almost another pass here, maybe.
It's such a brief moment where Robinho is able to recover guard, but Tainan he's in such a strong position. This is pure survival from the part of on the bottom man's part, right?
Right, absolutely.
He doesn't have any offense from these positions. And there it is. There's a second pass for Dalpra.
And that's what we want, right? We don't want to have any chance for offense, because if my partner is worried only about their defense, they have no opportunity to start attacking me, right? But if I am on the defense and I'm not able to worry about my offense. So if you're able to maintain these positions to the point where you're not worried about your partner recovering the guard, all of a sudden you start chaining attacks together, and it ends up in a very strong submission attacks.
Two more. So Tainan Dalpra now has a 10-0 lead.
Definitely isolating that far arm, pulling up here. Maybe looking for a Kimura, a little short arm bar here. Gonna try to pass that arm in front of his head for
Definitely
the Kimura
looking
grip.
for the Kimura. There it is. The hand goes up the back, and Tainan Dalpra gets the submission here in this quarter-final match. Now that will put him through into the semi-finals, where he is going to face off with the 2020 middleweight champion, Ronaldo Jr.
That is really exciting. Very, very excited for that. Is that a match we've seen before, Hal?
It is not. No, we've never seen it. So
definitely one that I'm excited for. I'm interested to see the strategy there as far as who elects to play on bottom, who elects to shoot for takedowns.
There it is, the win.
Win.
So Tainan Dalpra goes through to face Ronaldo Jr. On the other side of the brackets, you have Yago de Souza against Jonatas Gracie in the other semi-final. Both of those matches will be coming up here a little later.
Yeah, what a division, middleweight. Those are some big names coming in.